Hello, I'm Dr. Alan Daws with the Paulding County School District, and this is the 8th to 9th grade transition in 10 minutes or less. Let's get to it. All right, let's talk about your 9th grade classes. So transitioning from 8th to 9th grade is a big jump. And the first thing I want to go over is the difference in the schedule. All of our high schools are built on a 4x4 block schedule, which means you have 4 classes in the fall and 4 classes in the spring. So with those 8 opportunities, you're usually going to take 4 core classes, and then in the 9th grade, you have 2 additional ones that are probably going to really eat up space inside of your schedule. So the first one is health and personal fitness. So that is a requirement for all 9th grade students. It's a graduation requirement. And then another one that will be in a 9th grade schedule, at least commonly, will be Spanish 2. If you took Spanish 1 in 7th and 8th grade with our school district, then you should be placed in Spanish 2 in the 9th grade. This leaves you space for 2 electives. And as you can see here, I know that this generation of students would probably not know who this is, but Mick Jagger is here to say for electives that you can't always get what you want, right? So a lot of our students will say, hey, I want to take Intro to Culinary or this class or this class. Well, those electives you may actually get into, but keep in mind there may be limitations on space. There may be priority given to seniors. So especially for freshmen, a lot of these electives are more difficult to schedule. Okay? So again, you have 4 90-minute blocks in the fall, 4 in the spring, and working through this schedule is something that you and the school counselor will work with, and you'll actually get to see some of that when you get to open house, right? So let's talk about common 9th grade classes. So for our core classes, for English, usually our students are going to take 9th Lit or World Lit, right? So if they took 9th Lit in the 8th grade, they'll move into World Lit as a freshman. But most of our students will take 9th grade literature in the 9th grade. For math, most of our students will take Algebra Concepts and Connections, or if they had advanced coursework in middle school, they will take Geometry Concepts and Connections. For science, most of our students will take biology, but some students will start off with environmental science. For social studies, most of our students will take world geography. If you're an advanced student in the 8th grade, or if you're labeled as a gifted student, you may want to take AP Human Geography, which is the first advanced placement class that is offered to freshmen. For any of these classes, except for AP, we have honors level versions of those as well. Your 9th grade schedule is going to be based on a few things. It's going to be based on the teacher recommendations from your 8th grade year, right? Mostly from your core level classes. It's going to be based on your academic performance. How well you did in middle school will affect the classes that you're put into in the 9th grade. Your elective choices, so your choice, what you want to take, will feed into your schedule. And then obviously class availability and space. All right, so one big thing different from middle school to high school is that getting to the end of high school, you will earn a high school diploma. So you must earn 23 credits, and these are specific credits to graduate from a Georgia high school. Each block course is worth 1 credit, and you must earn a 70 in the course to pass it. So getting a 70 will earn you that 1 credit. Another difference between middle school and high school is if you fail a course that is needed for matriculating out, you will have to retake that course. That is something that's important to consider. You can't just fly through and go on to the next thing. We've got to go back and retake that course. Grade level promotion. Grade level promotion at middle school is different from high school. High school, it is only built on how many credits you have. That's it. So what determines whether you become a 10th grader or not is really how many credits you have. You need 5 credits to be considered a sophomore. you need 11 credits to be considered a junior, and you need 17 credits to be considered a senior. Here's an example of a schedule that you would receive at open house. The first 4 classes, when you see on the left-hand side, it says 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those are going to be your period classes, okay? And then you have a line down the middle, I drew a red line there, that separates the fall courses and the spring courses. You could have some other classes at the very bottom. This would be your advisement class, and you could be put into different groups. You see that SLDS slot down there inside of the schedule. Sometimes we will put all of, let's say, the football team into one group class, and that helps us to really get information out through Canvas. So that's really the meaning for that. So you can kind of ignore that SLDS slot. I just wanted to make sure you are aware of what that was. As far as advanced course offerings, once you get into high school, you have a lot more options. So you can take honors, AP, or dual enrollment classes inside of high school. Now there's a couple of differences there. With honors level classes, you get 5 additional points on the transcript. So if you have a 90 in a class, it'll be a 95 on our transcript. If you're taking an AP class, then that's going to be 10 points on the transcript. And a lot of our larger colleges, like the University of Georgia, Georgia Tech, they really prefer AP classes over anything else, whether it's dual enrollment or honors. They're going to prefer that you take as many AP classes and do well in them as you can. And then for dual enrollment, you're going to get 10 additional points as well on the transcript, and you will get college credit. Now I have a completely separate video on dual enrollment, so please check that out if you can. You can earn up to 30 hours, which is 1 full free year of college through dual enrollment. So it's a really good opportunity. Clubs and sports are different at the high school level. My advice to you would be get involved early. I never ran into anybody that regretted getting too involved, right? Or, this is something that if you're involved, you're more likely to go to class on time, you're less likely to get in trouble, and you're more likely to earn good grades. So getting involved early is key. There are so many options. You've got lots of options with fine arts. You can do marching band, chorus, one-act play. You could go to ROTC. We've got lots of different clubs, lots of different sports that are available to our students. Now with sports, you do have to be academically eligible for those sports. So let's briefly cover eligibility here. All first-time 9th graders are going to be eligible for high school sports. So the fall semester of high school, you're going to be eligible for any high school sport that you'd like to try out for. For the spring, your eligibility will be based on your academic performance. So you've got to have an active physical, like as in going to the doctor and getting a physical exam. You've got to pass 2.5 credits the previous semester to be academically eligible. So if I'm in the spring of my freshman year, I have to pass at least 2.5 credits in the fall, right? And then beyond freshman year, you have to be considered on track for graduation, which means you've got to have at least 5 credits as a sophomore, 11 credits as a junior, and 17 credits as a senior. And finally, we need to stay out of trouble with this because ISS and OSS, if you have any kind of disciplinary concerns, can impact your eligibility, whether or not you can play in practice or in games. So finally, let's just go over some basic overview of how to succeed. So here are my final words of wisdom. Attend class regularly. Ask your teacher for makeup work. The teachers are going to have many more students than they had at elementary or middle school level. So this is something that you need to consider. You need to be proactive, right? Come prepared. Know the importance of academics from day one. Your Hope Scholarship GPA starts in the freshman year. Be a self-advocate, right? Do your homework. Ask questions. Attend tutoring. Check Canvas. Keep track of these updates. And finally, put your cell phone down. We want to make sure that we are not distracted in the class and focused on the teacher. Thanks for your time. I'm Dr. Alan Daws with the Paulding County School District, and that was 8th to 9th grade transition in 10 minutes or less.